Alright, I'm not going to keep you waiting. The card's Numel. I mean Ditto. This Pokemon has the ability to copy the attacks of any basic non-rulebox fellas in your discard. That's great and all, but it's been out for over 2 years, so why is it broken now? Glass Trumpet. This is quite possibly the most powerful energy acceleration to come out in years, and I genuinely cannot believe that they printed it. Now, you can instantly power up this Ditto and access any of these basic non-rulebox attacks at next to no cost. Right now, Regidrago V-Star is unquestionably the best deck in format. This guy can be kind of difficult to power up and only has access to 55 different dragon attacking options, but is still so strong. With the release of the next set, Ditto will be able to copy the attacks of over 1,000 different Pokemon. It sounds kind of broken. Okay, so maybe not all of these are super usable. We probably don't want to be flopping for 30, but there are genuinely so many potential options, and I hope your brain is already racing with possible ways to cook using this card. However, some of you might still be thinking, why do we need this middleman? Why not just cut the Ditto and power up those basic attackers on their own, the old-fashioned way? Well, not only is it so much easier to get the energy onto Ditto, given that it's a colorless Pokemon and Glass Trumpet is absolutely broken, but it also offers some insane flexibility. Let's take a look at an example. I could use Ditto to copy Cavern Tackle, a really strong attack held back by the fact that you can't use it consecutively. Normally, you need to retreat into a separate attacker and then power them up to do anything the following turn. But with Ditto, we can fully benefit from the invulnerability and then utilize those same fighting energies to immediately follow up with another relevant attack, such as Ting Lu's Arrogant Impact for 220, or even this other Ting Lu's Ground Crasher to remove the stadium and spread some damage on our opponent's board. Another benefit of using Ditto to do the attacking is the sheer versatility. Say you're going first, you could start powering up your Ditto with water and metal energy, with the intention of destroying their board using Kyurem on the next turn. However, to your surprise, they drop down 2 mana feet to completely counter this. Imagine how dumb you would look if you were sitting there with a Kyurem stacked with energy in front of a couple mana feet. Luckily, you're a genius using Ditto to attack, so you aren't committed to Kyurem's Trifrost. Thanks to the incredible flexibility that Ditto offers, you can easily pivot your game plan using that same energy for a different attack from the toolbox. Maybe this is Zamazenta with Retaliate, or even Frigid Block Ice Cube. I've looked over the entire list of over 1,000 options multiple times, and I cannot emphasize this enough. There are so many unique possibilities to work with, and I don't even think I've scratched the surface yet. So if this is the kind of thing that you're interested in and you want to keep up to date with all of the insane decks that I'm cooking, I would really appreciate it if you chopped a subscription. It helps out more than you realize. Anyway, how can we actually start building a deck like this? Well, first of all, we do need a Terra Pokemon in play to even use Glass Trumpet, and I think it almost has to be a basic one so that you can quickly get those trumpets online. This limits us to just 9 options. Dedenne, Hooper, Mewtwo, Ice-Cube, and Heartflame Ogerpon don't really offer too much. Wellspring Ogerpon isn't really too special either, but at least Sob is a bit of utility. That leaves us with just 3 basic Terra Pokemon to really choose from. Cornerstone Ogerpon's ability protects it from the attacks of other Pokemon with abilities, making it difficult to kill and less of a 2-prize liability on the bench compared to other options. This is great if you're trying to develop a functionally 1-prize board state. Teal Mask Ogerpon is only really useful if you're already running Grass Energy, but if you are, it can provide both a great draw engine and another way to accelerate energy, which can be just what certain decks need. Lastly, and what I think is overall the best option, is the brand new Terrapagos EX. It's relatively tanky at 230 HP. It's a colorless Pokemon, so it can act as a target for Glass Trumpet, and it also has some pretty nice attacks that you can easily make use of. Unified Beatdown costs just 2 colorless energy and deals a respectable 30 damage for each of your benched Pokemon. This is great to have even if you can't use it on your first turn. Crown Opal is a bit more difficult to use, but if you have the required Grass, Water, and Lightning energies, you can punch for 180 and prevent all damage done to Terrapagos from basic non-colorless Pokemon in the next turn. I'd definitely be picking Terrapagos as my Terra Pokemon for the majority of builds. I think that Pokestop has a whole bunch of synergies and can be a very strong option in these kind of decks. Not only is Glass Trumpet an item card that you really love to see, but you also need to get energy in the bin to actually use it, so you're happy to see energy off of Pokestop spins as well. And since we're building around Ditto, you need to get some of those attacking options discarded too. It really seems like this stadium could be a great fit. I also want to bring up both Energy Switch and Blissey EX as potential inclusions. Since Glass Trumpet is usually accelerating to 2 benched colorless Pokemon, it can be great to have the option to move one of those energies onto the other Pokemon, or even a completely different non-colorless Pokemon. This allows you to speed up acceleration and get attacking even sooner, or just conserve your Glass Trumpet so that you have more resources in the late game. I've already drafted up a couple of decks for this idea, so let's take a look at one of them in action. Alright, so I'm going to show you what a potential turn 1 might look like. We're going to be going second, and let's just say that our opponent started with a Ralts and then played Buddy Buddy Poffin for another 2 Ralts, because it's a pretty classic Guardy start. We'll draw a hand of 7 cards, and then we'll put out our imaginary prize cards, but they really shouldn't matter too much. Let's put Ditto into the active as our starter Pokemon, and then we'll draw for turn. We can start off by using Earthen Vessel to discard the Kyurem and find 2 energies, and I'm pretty sure you can already tell we're going to try and take this turn 1. Let's just go for 1 water and 1 metal energy before we play the Trekking Shoes. The reasoning for this sequencing is that it will increase our odds of seeing more Pokemon and supporter cards and less energies off of the shoes. So we got Night Stretcher. No, we don't need that. Trapago CX. Alright, we can bench that guy. Now I'm just going to have a quick think of what to discard with Ultra Ball, but I think it's always going to be used to grab Radiant Greninja regardless. I'm pretty sure that getting rid of the energy is better here, just in case we draw a Glass Trumpet off of the Greninja, so that we have that relevant energy in the discard already. And there's Radiant Greninja right there. We'll bench this guy down, and then we'll shuffle up. We'll be using concealed cards on that grass energy to turn it into 2 more cards. So let's go. Discard the grass energy, draw 2 more cards. Another Ultra Ball, that's great. We can use that to discard everything except for the research, grab a Mew EX, and it's a really good time to get this guy down, because not only do they have free retreat, so we can get Ditto to the bench and swap it back into the active, but also, given the low hand size now, we can draw 2 cards straight away, which is great. So let's draw 2. 1, 2. Pokestop is great to slam down, but we don't need to spin it just yet. We'll take a quick look at our discard. I actually would like a little bit more energy in here, so I won't use up my hand attached just yet. I think I can just discard the water energy with research and draw 7 fresh new cards. 1, 2, 3, 4 more cards, and 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, this looks pretty good. We are definitely going to be benching that Squawkabilly. The ability is just too good to not use. And we can also Earthen Vessel away one of these energies, and that'll just grab us 2 more from the deck. What this is mainly going to do is just to help thin out the deck and increase our odds of drawing the more important cards. I'll have a quick look through, but I'm pretty sure we'll just end up grabbing 2 metal energies from the deck. Just to, thin it out like I said before. 1, 2. And before we shuffle, we can actually use the Nest Ball as well. Maybe we'll just grab a Pidgeot V from this. So we'll go in the deck. Let's grab the Pidgeot V. So this guy can just kind of sit on the bench for now. And if we find a Forest Seal Stone, they'll help us make use of that. It's also worth noting that it is another colorless Pokemon we can accelerate to. Speaking of acceleration, we'll play a Glass Trumpet. Because we have that Terra Pokemon in play, Glass Trumpet is going to accelerate an energy to 2 of our benched colorless Pokemon. Unfortunately, Ditto is in the active, so we can't accelerate to them just yet. But I'm pretty sure we got enough energy in the discard now where we can just hand attach the metal energy onto it. No more actions left to make with this hand, and I still don't really want to spin the Pokestop yet. So let's just use Squawkabilly's ability to see another 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this looks really great. I think we've got it. We're definitely going to need a switch card into the active so we can accelerate some more energy onto the Ditto. And I think it would be guaranteed if I use Secret Box here. Just going to have a think about that. Nah, I'm pretty sure it is better just to spin the Pokestop first. So let's spin this. And 1, 2, 3. Alright, we've definitely got it now. There's no way that we don't. We use a couple of Glass Trumpets to accelerate 4 energy into play. That is so nuts. Let's have a quick look through the discard. I think we'll probably end up grabbing 2 water and 2 metal just to split it. There we go. So let's put 2 water onto the Ditto. 1, 2. And then we'll put both of these metal onto the Terrapagos EX. Energy Switch is going to let us move one of those energies from the Terrapagos EX onto the Ditto. Now we need to just get 1 more energy onto the Ditto and we win the game on the first turn. And I'm pretty sure that Secret Box should get us there. Let's discard the Switch Cart, the Night Stretcher, and the Nest Ball, and this will let us search our deck for basically whatever we want. We can grab a tool card, an item, we can grab a stadium as well. Let's grab the Pokestop, and we can grab a supporter too. Let's grab that last research. Secret Box is so good for putting these combos together. Searching 4 cards is absolutely nuts. We've already got the game locked up, but let's just put the Forest Seal Stone onto Pidgeot V anyway. We'll energy switch to move a metal energy from Terrapagos over onto that Ditto. And just for fun, we can play my favorite card, Trekking Shoes. Yeah, we're not going to be needing that second Kyurem. Draw another card. We'll retreat with the Mew EX to get Ditto into the active. There's 5 energy on it, and we can use the Kyurem that we discarded from our opening hand. And we can just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 knock out all of those routes. That's game. We even got a research left over for the next turn if there was one. We've still got Forest Seal Stone on that Pidgeot V. We haven't flipped our V-Star. The deck's just too good. That was so beautiful to watch. Obviously, this isn't a fully fleshed out deck, and it doesn't have a great game plan past turn 1, but it is a flashy demonstration of how the idea could potentially function if you were to approach it from a more turbo angle. I hope that this Glass Trumpet Ditto deck idea has lit a spark in your creative brains, and I would love to hear which basic non-rulebox Pokemon you're excited to try and use down in the comments. That's all from me for now, but I will definitely be posting more about this concept in the future, and you won't want to miss it.